Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Carrie Does Stuff. Welcome back to an old friend, Kerbal Space Program. We haven't touched Kerbal for a long time. We've been doing other things. But I wanted to come back to Kerbal today. And that was mostly because I've been watching a few NASA documentaries and things. And they were talking about like the Cassini probe and the Voyager probe and all that kind of stuff. So I thought, wouldn't it be great if we could launch our own probe and see how far we could take it? So I decided to load up my Kerbal Space Program. So let's get into it. I've already got it loaded up, and this is our space station. Oh my god, happy days! Happy days! I remember this. Yeah, the wheels aren't the wheels aren't turning. So why are you not turning? Uh, it's supposed to be on. Why are you not turning? um, it's not. It's not turning. So anyway, imagine they're spinning in opposite directions. My gravity wheels. For some reason, they're not doing it because reason. Because reasons. They're just locked. I don't know why. It says it's engaged. Motor engaged, and it's not working. So, any hoozle. This is zoom out, zoom back in. Okay. Anyway, this is our last space station. This is our space station. With our lander and all that kind of stuff. So what I'm going to do at the moment is while we're jibber jabbering, is I'm going to look in the science labs, which are these things. I think were they science labs? Mobile processing labs. Yeah, we have got plenty of science, plenty of data. So what we were going to do is I was just going to spin on. Now, what was that? It was tab, wasn't it? To spin on. Oh, no, it wasn't tab. Shift. Oh, whoa. No. Oh, I just set the motor, set the fans off. Oh, God damn it. Oh, jeez. Right, no, it was. Oh, I know what it was. All right, so I've got to head back into Kerbal Space Program. So we're going to spin this on and earn some science this way. Just going to earn a crap ton of science. Oh, right. We're at our max for science there, so we're going to transmit that science. Transmit science. And transmit science. So what I want to do is see how I've got all this valid science all just sitting up here waiting to be used. We're going to use it to make probes. So this is going to be interesting. I haven't played for a while. As you know, I've been doing Red Dead and Astroneer and a few other things. So there we go. That's 1,000 science. So I think we'll go again. We've got enough data to do that again. So let's lock pin that. Oh, it's all coming back to me. Come back to me. It'll come back to me. Right. So let's just spin that on then. Just wait until we get another 500 science. 2, 3, 4. Oh, there we go. Right, just spin that on. 500. Come on, 500. Right, we'll transmit that side. Data we got in there. So much data. So much data. Alright, that'll do. That'll do. Let's transmit that side. That one. So that's 2,000 science, all just done and dusted. Oh, you see we're uploading it. We got a bunch of Kerbals up here. Right, come on in your own time. 93, 95, 97, 98, 99. Done. Okay, good. Right, so let's go back to the tracking station. We've probably got some science in the other space station as well. If I remember rightly, we got 2 space stations. We had the Stable Genius. We are at the Trigger's Broom, and now we're in the Stable Genius. Probably got another 500 science in here at least. We've got, yeah, it's just 1 science lab here. So we've got 493 science. So we're going to transmit that science. Well, we don't have another. These are crew cans. So that's 2,500 science we should have now. So we should be able to spend that a lot on probe technology. Could be interesting. So I'll show you the plan in a minute once we've transmitted this data. There we go. Done. Okay, so let's head back to the tracking station. So the plan should be pretty straightforward. Here is our little planet here. This is Kerbin. And we are going to try and send a probe like bing bong bing bong. Gonna do the external planet's grand tour. That is sort of kind of what we want to do. We're gonna do interplanetary transfers, which I have never done before. I've always got to the point where I've built a few space stations, got some mining done, and then just kind of stopped playing. So this is actually going to be a first for me. So we're not going to go on the inward planets. There's 2 inward planets, and obviously the sun. There, we're going to go to Duna, then we're going to go to Dres, then we're going to go to Joule, and then we're going to hopefully hit Elo on the way out. It's going to be kind of like the Voyager probe that goes to the external planets and then just shoots off into the outer galaxy. And we're all going to start from here. So let's go back to science. Where are we? Research and development. So we now have 3,000. Well, 3,300 and some odd science. So we want. Have a look, see what's in these large probes. We have probe. Obviously, there's a function of many parts in one to help make sure the steering heat of this primary mission target is good and dissipated without harming its critical control. Right, so this is a probe. This MOHO transfer module houses a control core and a generously sized xenon tank, perfect for transporting large scientific payloads anywhere where large amounts of Delta V are required. Okay, remote guidance unit. Okay. Experimental electrics. Thermoelectric generator. Now these were used actually on many of the space flights that NASA done, and they were often reused. As they were housed in extremely tough boxes and then reused. So we're gonna need to research that. What else we got? Ion propulsion. This is going to be useful as well. What's this? Advanced science tech. Oh, this is for the mining and equipment, so we don't need any of that. That's experimental science. Right, so that's all for the mining tech. So we're going to need these three things here. So we might as well grab those. Bada bing, bada boom. Bada bing, bada boom. Bada bing, bada boom. Right, so that's all those. Nuclear propulsion. I want nuclear engines. Despite it being fairly scary, freefoil painted on the side of this engine, this radioactive source and tendency to overheat. The atomic rocket motor is harmless, mostly. Note that the LVN is the only LV series engine to run solely on liquid fuel. The future is glowing bright. Plume configuration by real plume. All right. Okay, so there's that. High performance fuel systems. These are fuel tanks. So we could. I kind of want nuclear propulsion. We're going to get for nuclear propulsion. And that's all the data that we've got. So all that spinning around has got us these. Got us this tech. So what we're going to do is if I can see if I can remember how to build this stuff. See if I can remember how to build this stuff. Right. I'm going to do what all the NASA engineers sat there and done all day, every day. Have a cigarette. Okay, so we need control. Pods. No, we need controls. We need control because we're going to build. Where is commander control? Here we go. So we need a probe core. Right. Okay. So that's not. Right. Okay. No. Okay. Fine. It's up here. So a larger probe core based on the popular HCCS design with integrated battery banks, specialized flight controls, and a built-in reaction wheel. A suitable probe core for more advanced satellites. So I'm going to see what this is. That's interesting, isn't it? That is previously sized xenon tank. Electric charge 4000. Xenon get what? Well, there's this. Get rid of that first. Get rid of that first. Ah. Come on. Well, there's this thing. Now, not being funny, but that looks pretty cool. It's a lunar excursion module. Oh, that's not a probe thing. That's basically the lunar lander from the Apollo missions, and that's the bit that shoots off. So we definitely don't need that. We're not going to send any men anywhere. So, I'm a bit confused as to which one I want. Well, we're going to start off with this one then, I suppose. This is a probe core. It's got its own reaction wheels. Built-in reaction wheel. More advanced satellites. Okay. We can put Sputnik up there if we wanted to. Right, so it's got that. We're going to also need a utility. Where is the utility? We're going to need command and control. On. I need a mech jeb on there, obviously. So I don't have to do all the math in my own head hole. Okay. Right. Just thinking. Okay, so we are going to need some communications. No. So that's going to be satellite on the top. Bippity boppity. You are now my. Oh, okay. There we go. That is the radar. Which one's? Oh no. It's going to go a long way. So we want it to have what we got. Right mouse button is more info. So click on that. The motivational team poster. Yeah, I know. It's like ah! That's usually my face when something doesn't quite go according to plan. Right, so this is rated 100G, 15G, 2G. So have we got anything that's rated 15G, 100G? Oh, wait, this is 100G. That's 100G. Packet size 4 megabits, packet size 2 megabits, bandwidth 20, bandwidth 11 megabits per second. We don't need that then, because that is 11 megabit. That is 11 bits, 11,000 bits per second, and this is 20 megabits a second or whatever. So packet size 2. And it's twice as packet size, but it's half the. So I mean, if we stick this on it, look at what this one does. That looks way cooler. Wow. I'm gonna stick that one on top, I think. Like so. Oh wow. Try and get it in the middle, shall we? Oh my god. Like that. So that goes. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. Okay, so that's that. Now it's got its own reaction wheels, so we're going to test it in a what I call the simulation. It's kind of a debug mode. I don't know why they don't have something similar in the actual game, but you have to kind of debug it into orbit. You can cheat things up there, up into orbit, which is, if I remember rightly, how I managed to cheat the bit of my space station that busted. I've got it up there again. But what I'm going to use it for is a simulation, and we're going to do that in a minute. So we got this, and also I'm going to put on a couple of these on here as well, you know, just for looks. Just for looks. One of them there. One of them there. Like that. Oh, let's bring it down a little bit. Yeah. How you doing today, Super Rivs? Taking a bit of a break from Astroneer today because I thought I'd do a bit of Kerbal. Ah, Lil's in here as well. Hey, Lil. I know you're sneaking in there. Right, so what I want to do is... Oh, crap. Now I've got to work on... actions. Right, extend... Extend. You're along for the ride with this one, yeah. Good, good, good. So that should be... So that now should... can't remember how to do action groups. Oh no, that's stage. Oh, you idiot! I don't want to. I want to clear that. Reset. Reset and reset. Custom one. That's what I want. Custom one. I haven't really played around with send antenna. Oh crap! I forgot to send antenna. Well, I'm glad you're with me along for the ride to see how I screw this up. Send antenna. Right, so that's my custom action group. That should set all those off in one go. Fingers crossed. Right, so now we got to look at what we're going to put on there in the way of science, ladies and gentle peeps. Okay, now this is going to be quite cool. Because that is like our extend. Extend. That's that. We're also going to need... What's the battery in this thing? Pods. It's got a... Requires electric charge of 3 per minute to work. Right, so it doesn't have any batteries, so we're going to need some batteries on this thing. Electrical. Oh. Oh. That's way too big. Right, so we're going to need to put some batteries on the bottom of this. I think we'll put a battery on the top of it as well. Come on. Boop. Wow. I'm glad you're along for the ride, because then you can see my screw-ups. I always screw up. There's a tiny indie game called Adios Amigos, which combines the casual aesthetic of Astroneer and the orbit calculations of Kerbal. Oh no, I love KSB, but I'd cock it up and get very angry. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I know your feels, bro. I know your feels, bro. Right, okay, so we're going to put on this... So how much does this generate? Generate is always active. Electric charge 8 a second. 0.8 a second. That's wait, what? 0.8 a second. This requires 3 per minute. Okay, so we might need 2 of these on here, because then when we need, oh, that should be fine, shouldn't it? 1. Let's do it. Let's use the calculator. Oh my god, my brain hole. So if it's 3 per minute, that's 0.05 per second. So we have plenty. That produces plenty of power to move this thing. How much does this require? 68.6 per second. Oh. Oh no, that's the wrong one, isn't it? It's this one. 200 per second that requires. But it's not. Shit. Okay. It's not going to be using it all the time. So these carry 1,000. So it's going to be 2,000 electric charge in each of these. This is going to be constantly charging those. I'm also going to... I'm actually going to put this on that side. We're also going to want solar panels on it just to help out that that thing there. The thing is, though, the further and further away that that gets from the sun, the less. No, that's too big. The less solar charge we're gonna have. Outputs. Oh, that requires liquid fuel and oxidizer to run. Right. So, okay, so we've got. Right, so we got to look at now. Start looking at what we can put on here. Surface scanning module. Small module that can cause soil, atmospheric, and oceanic sampling tools. When used while landing on a planet or moon, the sample data gathered can be used to increase the accuracy of orbital survey scanners. So we don't need that. Device to measure the local atmosphere pressure. Don't need that. Don't need that. Infrared telescope. Whoa, okay. That's just way too freaking big. Can't have that. Storage unit. Seismic set not having that. Can't have the size. Advice for performing fluid spectral velocity scans on the surrounding atmosphere, despite some criticism claiming that fluid isn't of real science. Kerbal scientists seem to all agree that the data it provides is definitely interesting. I'm going to want a temperature on it. I'm just trying to think of what. Really trying to think of what science I need. The Sentinel telescope, if I'd like to detect such voices. Oh, this is a Celeste. Ah, right. This is a Sentinel. So we don't need that. That goes in orbit around Kerbin. We'll have to do that one day. We got the magnometer boom. Scanning arm is for the rovers. I'm interested in whether this fluid spectrovalometer is actually a thing that we can use. Valometer. Let's type that into the wiki. Valometer. See what that comes up with. Right. Okay. Okay. Doesn't tell me much. Community modding. No, I want to know about parts. Here we go. Sensors. Here we go. Let's have a look at this. This should help us out. This should help us out with to what we need. Gravity roll detector, gravity scan. Ah, so I need one of these. Negative gravity roll detector, radial mounted gravity scan. Let's check out what the gravity scan is. Oh crap. I just want to know what I can use in space. Atmospheric fluid. Sorry, I mean, is that a device? The sensor array, nose cone, and performing atmospheric analysis of science. This sensor provides valuable data on the atmospheres of the proper celestial bodies, including Eve, Kerbin, Junon, and Lathe. It does nothing elsewhere. It's much larger than any other science instruments, with the exception of the Science Junior. As a size report, this device cannot take data in space. Right, so that's no good. This one, gravity thing. Local gravity displays acceleration on the craft due to gravity in meters per second. When right-clicked. Right, so it's available with the advanced science tech at level 8 of the technology tree. So we should have that. We should have that. Let's have a look here. Level 8 advanced science tech. Okay. Where are you? You are not there. Right, okay, I'm going to save this as probe. I like the idea of boffins looking stuff up on Wikipedia. I know, right? Right, okay, probe. Probe 1. Oh, let's just call it that. Right, so we're going to save that. And we're going to head back to the save and continue. Going to head back to the science because I want this gravitational detector. I don't understand why I don't have it. No, not tracking station, dingus. It's going to be all day if I don't. I keep clicking on the wrong thing. Can you imagine that in Apollo 13? How much electric charge do they need in order to be able to re-enter without blowing the system? I don't know. I'll go look it up on Wikipedia. Wait, you designed it? I know. Oh, look, here it is. Advanced Science Tech. Oh, yes. Oh, look, we're only like, oh, dear God. Device to capture and measuring the elusive negative gravipole particles will determine the present strength of gravitational fields. Warranty void if used to detect positive gravipole particles. Okay. Yeah, I didn't look at that lot, did I? I didn't look at that lot. So we're a little bit off. So what we can do is we'll go back to the tracking station and just you know, let's pretend like nothing's happening. We'll go back to our very stable genius. Is it? No, this is not a very stable genius. Our this is not the one I want. Tracking station. I want the other one. I want the very stable genius. No, triggers broom. That's what I want. Fly. So we'll try and grab another 1,000 science out of this. Try and squeeze another 1,000 science out. Okay. So where is our science doodads? One there. There's one there. Right, we'll spin on. Got loads of data in here, so we're fine. For 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. There we go. Right, so transmit that science. Transmit that science. Benefits of having space stations. Now, don't come at me and tell me this is cheating, because the amount of science I had to get in order to put these things up here was a lot of hard work. There we go. Okay. Tracking station, and we go back to the other one as well. So grab. We have a problem. Our internet is down, and this citation needed. Yes. Houston, we have a problem. The internet is down, and I cannot download any more hentai. Okay, so how much data have we got in here? We'll download that too. Transmit science there. Now, I'm wondering if the mystery goo can be cleaned out or reused. What we're going to do is we're back to Science Center. If the mystery goo can be, we'll stick that on it too. I know NASA didn't have mystery goo. I'm pretty sure it didn't have mystery goo. Houston, we have a problem. The mystery goo has seemed to evolved into something crazy. Okay, so this is what we want. Boom. And a boom. Right, that should be all the science we got now. This can go ideal for surveying potential landing sites. A large tank that we can use for. Oh well, I got it now anyway, so whatever. We don't need any of that. Okay, back into here. Right, so let's have a look at the mystery goo. Mystery goo containment unit. Now it tells me that the mystery goo varies with both atmosphere and vacuum. In career mode, side mode is available to starters. Is automatically unlocked and will be placed on a player's first rocket. Mystery goo containment unit can be radially attached. Mystery goo containment unit is activated either via a prompt or the right. Science gained from mystery goo varies depending on the celestial body. Unlike many other scientists, it cannot be reused after the results are transmitted. Ah, well that sucks. Right. Open. Where's my probe one? LMNO blah 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 probe one node. Right, so it cut. Mystery goo is a no-go, and this is going on here, like so. So I think this seems good, doesn't it? This seems good. We just need an engine, and this is where I think my nuclear engine comes in. I think. Let's have a look to see how big this nuclear engine is. Here we go. No then. That's a no. That's a big no for the nuclear engine. Huh. Huh. Does it actually have its own reaction wheels? That's what I want to know. As a built-in reaction wheel, that's good. So I'm not going to need RCS on it, because it's going to be able to react itself and turn itself in the right direction. That's good. It's just going to need an engine. And it's just going to need to be a little one. By emitting ionized xenon gas through a small thruster port, Dawn can produce incredibly efficient propulsion, but with a downside of very low thrust and high energy usage. According to ISP electronic sales reps, rumors of this engine being powered by dark magic are largely exaggerated. So what does it need? Propellants, electric charge, 8 per second. Okay. Drains evenly across vessel per priority. Xenon gas drains evenly across vessel per priority. Xenon gas? So I need fuel tanks. Xenon gas fuel tanks. The cheapers? Ah, here we go. This, 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 this. These three here. No. Xenon gas. How much does that have? 5,700. So this could go on the bottom of it. How much does it use? 0.486 a second. Okay, 0.486 a second. Fuel tanks. So that's got plenty of, should have plenty of fuel tanks in it. Let's have a look, see how heavy this thing is. Where is it? It is 1.5 tons. So I think that's good, honestly. Where is my customizable thing? So I also want to put this in it. Send boom. And I want to put this in it. And then solar array. Well, I've never used these engines before. I have to blooming phone blinking. Flipping tech support. Okay, dude, just lurk. It's all good. Thanks for joining me. Right. So I'm going to save that. I do want to do one thing. God damn it! I'm trying to find out how do I enable debug in KSP? Oh, plus F12. Okay, good. Because we're going to test this thing now. I'm gonna test this thing. Dun 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 dun. We're gonna put it through the simulator, as I like to say. Put it through the simulator. Alt plus F12. Debugging. No, we want it to. Wait. Orbit. Set orbit. I want to set orbit. Approximate distance. Okay, this is set orbit. See what happens. Okay, so we are in orbit around Kerbal at the moment. Now where are my action groups? Why did my action groups not work? Dude, what? End antenna. Oh, I've got rid of them. Oh, crap. Okay, so we're going to have to work on how those work. I don't know how those work. So extend antenna. Extend boom. Extend antenna. Extend antenna. Extend solar array. Make jeb enabled. Right, so can this rotate? Yes, look at that. With almost... Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Turn on the SAS. There we go. Ah, okay. Right, so that's good. Just pitch and roll. Let's check out the fuel consumption. Alright, so this can log gravity data. No, reset experiment. So that works. That works. Oh, that's going to back in there. We want to activate engine. Okay, so let's see if we can like just try and get this thing to, I don't know, come out of its own, come out of the orbit here. Like, you know, it's just yeah, that'll do. That'll do. That's all I want to do. Okay, so now I want to. Where is my mech jeb? Mech jeb. Go away. Fuel. Fuel. Maneuver planner. Execute the next node. Deceive. So how is that looking? I mean, it's doing it. I mean, I would want it to be higher up in the atmosphere, so electric charge is not running out. The xenon gas is still maintaining fairly high level. It's going to take a while to do that. Okay, let's spin it on a little bit, shall we? Ah, cannot walk faster while ship is under acceleration. Okay. I don't think this engine is designed to do this kind of maneuver this close to the planet. But it certainly should do it. I mean, this is very low Earth orbit. It's, I mean, it should be out here somewhere with these satellites, honestly. And then it would do it quite easily. So I think we're good here. Let's revert flight to vehicle assembly. That was my simulation, and the simulation seemed to go quite well. I just need to work out how to use these damn action sets. Oh God. Alright, send antenna. Send boom. Then that. Then that. And then that. Right, so if that is custom 1, right, let's save that and put it on the launch pad. How do I use these action groups? See if we can use, type in action groups. Action groups. Okay, so custom one, alpha one. Okay, so look, it's got action sets. Close. Just a picture. Wow, look, that's hot. I might need to put some heat sinks in there to shoot away the heat. Um, okay. Okay, so action groups. I don't know how these action groups work. How to use action groups. Oh, huh. Uh, you can select your action to occur when you hit one on the keyboard. Really? One. Ah! Oh, it was that easy. Okay then. Okay, right. Revert flight back to vehicle assembly. Press one. All right, heat control. Heat control. Okay. No, we have got some thermal issues. So what I want to do. Oh no. Is coat this in. There we go. Look at that. That's freaking spot on. If ever I saw it. Right. Let's just. Well, not quite spot on. There we go. We now have probe. Right, we're going to save that, and that weighs 1.6 tons. That is my little probe. I'm pretty pleased with that. I'm pretty pleased with that. That seems to work quite nicely. Okay. Next up, we need to create the launch system for it. So, what we're going to do now is coupling. Need to find a little wheel. Here we go. That works. And then what's this? No. What's that? Engine plate. Inspired by a perfect kit. Okay. So it's going to get coupled to that. Oh, and I want it to. Yeah, that's right. 10% force. I don't want too much force. I don't want it to shoot off into. And it detaches from that end. That's good. Now I need a fairing. Now where the hell were fairings? Come on, where are my fairings? Payload, here we go. Fairing. No, a bit bigger than that. Here we go. Why can't I? Why won't it let me? Oh, because that thing's in the way. Okay, okay. Come on. There we go. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Right, let's rename this. Right, I want to put it into hibernation for now and turn this off. Disable that. So that's in hibernation. That's not going to be used until we get up there. So now I need to be able to control this whole shebang with command and control. Sorry, a pod. Some pod as some description. That doesn't look very good, does it? Ah. Right, let's get rid of that for a start, and let's put a different fairing on it. Payload. Put one of these on it. There we go. That's better. Now with command and control with pods, I could put this on there. There we go. So this has a large version developed in partnership with the. Does it have? Doesn't have reaction wheels. Okay. Right. So we need to put on some command and control. There we go. Advanced reaction wheels. Batteries. Now we're cooking. Pods. Rider control. You know, mech jeb on there. No, that's not where I want to put the mech jeb. Thanks very much. Need one mech jeb. Okay, so this is what's going to take it to the first planet. It's all going to be trial and error, you know, all trial and error. Fuel tanks. No. 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 Yes. And yes. But an engine. What thrust we got there? 374 kilonewtons. That should be good. Or am I going to need something a bit bigger than... No. Let's put this one back on here. Skiff. No, I don't need a skiff. That is... 200... 300... Yeah, let's put a skiff on there. Does it have gimbal control? Gimbal vectoring range of 2 degrees, that's good. Right. How do I change the variance? Oh, variant. Ah, no, we want that. There we go. Right, so hopefully. Right, so that's going to be taking it to, hopefully, to Duna. Okay, so we now need another. Nope. It's going to detach from that end. Yes. Now I want to create that a little larger. So I need a fuel tank that goes kind of. No. 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 Right, okay, so where is... I thought I had the fuel tanks that's expanded outwards, like cones. Yeah, fuel tank adapters. But maybe they just adapted to that size. Ah, here we go. There we go. There's an adapter. There's an adapter. So I need a fuel tank. No. Wait a minute. I'm just thinking. First stage gets it up into. Next stage is going. It's going to get it up off the first stage up. This stage is the orbital stage. Gets it into an orbit. Okay. This is going to need a fair bit of thrust too. Holy cow, look at that. I don't like. Not going to be. I'm not going to need a mainsail. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to need a mainsail. That's ridiculous. Maybe another skiff. I don't need a skiff up here at all if this is going to take it to Mars, to Duna. Yeah, I don't need a skiff. That's too big. Yeah, you're allowed to swear. Yeah, yeah, I know the feeling, buddy. Just trying to look at what's this? This is 300 Bobcat. 300. Skiff is to. I'm not going to need that much, am I? That will do it. I mean, which is heavier? Uh, this weighs 2 tons. This weighs, the skiff weighs 1.6 and it's less. And I don't, why would we not use that? Why would we not use that? Then why would we just not use the skiff? Okay, so now we need an engine to take it. Don't want to use a mainsail. Mainsail is for, again, I think another skiff. That's a. Why are you doing this to me? Why did you do that? Oh, okay, I know why it's doing that. How about we try that with life support and difficult relationships? Yeah. Okay. Off and on again. I'm just trying to think what's the best way to do this. Whether I want a rocket that takes it all the way up, and then I could use this to orbit to plane out the orbit, and then take it into. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. If it doesn't work, we'll bring it back. We'll bring it back. Right. So large fuel tanks. No. This is the way it's going to work. I don't know. I got no idea whether this is going to work or not, but that's the beauty of the game. No, mainsail. Bippity boppity boop. Now I'm going to need some coupling on here because I am going to put on some of these. I'm going to put on. How many do I want on? 3. Wait, no. Okay. Zoom in. That's not right. So I want to put that on there. Just slightly rotate them into pose. So, good. Engines, solid fuel boosters. That's the beauty of the game. Bring him back alive. Right, so let's put some of these on. That's not how you do that, is it? Egypt. Come on, there we go. All right, well these need to come down a bit then, don't they? There we go. There we go. Right, so now let's put on some aerodynamics on the top here. Yeah, these are too small. Those are too small. Those are too big. Those are way too big. Those are too big. Those are too small. Oh my god. Oh my god. Are we kidding? Where's the nose cones I could put on this thing? Definitely not. Definitely not. Definitely not. Finally! Oh, Jesus. Right. So back to engines again. I need these, and I need to zoom in here. And they are going to need to be rotated this way, like so. There we go. I'm also going to need to put these on here like that. I'm also going to need some structural work. Like that. And like that. Whoops. Wait, what? All for science. This is all for science, baby. We're going to the stars. I know. This is why, you know, when you like watch like the Apollo and Mercury and Gemini sort of programs. You know, oh right, they just strapped a guy to a rocket and off he went. No, that's why it just amazes me, and in some ways, I can almost sympathize with those people who say man never went to the moon. It's, how could we get to the moon? Because to them, I don't follow NASA's Twitch. No, I don't. No, because when you think about it, it is so incredibly mind-boggling and baffling as how they managed to do what they did. If you could put up with ignorance of flat earthers and shit. Oh yeah, they're everywhere though. They're just, you're going to have these morons, these cavemen wandering around, with their own theories and magics of how the world works. But anyway, yeah, but in some ways I can kind of sympathize with these, in a way, with these moon landing deniers, because to me it is so astronomically difficult, especially like in the 60s. They didn't even have calculators. They used slide rules and stuff like that. That there was less computing power in that rocket than there is in a modern calculator, and you could think it just seemed impossible. Both the courage and aspirations of human beings to thrust themselves into the unknown. Yeah, but that's the thing. It was, they took each project, each mission, like the Mercury and the Gemini and then the Apollo, were steps to reach the goal. They didn't just go, right, let's all do it in one go. Let's get to the moon straight away. I know, but that's the difference. That's the difference. I can sit there and think this. It just, if you look at the moon, how many millions of miles away, how many hundreds of thousands of miles away it is, how difficult it was to get there, and you think, wow, that was a hell of an achievement. But these people will sit there and go, oh, it was so impossible that they obviously didn't do it. It's like, just because you can't comprehend it doesn't mean to say somebody more, a group of people with better funding couldn't do it. So in a way, I understand where they're coming from, because it's so difficult to wrap your head around. But where we differ, where our paths split, is the fact that I understand that just because I don't understand it doesn't mean to say somebody else couldn't do it. But they just turn around and go, oh, because I don't understand it, therefore it didn't happen. It was all fake. It's like, dude, do you understand computers? Well, no. Do you understand how a computer works? No. But then you're using one, so obviously somebody somewhere does. So, that's where we differ. But in a way, I can see where they're coming from. I had a next door neighbor who was a moon landing denier, and his whole point was, it is so impossible. I'm like, just because you don't understand it doesn't mean to say it didn't happen. And he's like, yeah, but it's just, look at the complications, look how far away it is and all this. I goes, yeah, those are things that people had to overcome. Sore subject. Wow. No, but the point I'm making with the computers is they're using one to spout their bollocks about nobody really landed on the moon, it's all false, it's too impossible, and yet they don't understand how it works. So it's, that's the difference between the intelligent and the people who think they're intelligent. The intelligent know what they don't know. The intelligent think they know everything. The people who think they're intelligent think they know everything. Anyway, moving on. We'll sit there and go, I don't know how they've done that, but somebody does. And then the others go, I don't know how they've done that, therefore it didn't happen. Like, dude. I get this a lot with my parents. They seem to think they know everything, and then when you ask them a question of something they don't know, they make shit up. You're like, what? Yes, the known unknowns and the unknown unknowns, and then there's just making shit up. Because that's the difference between the smart and the stupid. The stupid seem to think smart people have all the answers, so they pretend to have all the answers. Whereas the smart people realise they don't have all the answers, and they have to find the answers. Right, okay, so what should we call this? We're going to call this Grand Tour. Call this Grand Tour, and we're going to save it. Right, so first of all, we're going to have to work out the staging on this. So I'm going to put this into here. We're going to need this rocket into there too. I want to put... Where are the booster rockets? There are the booster rockets. They go into there. So that's the mainsail, boosters, nose. Right, now. Then we need to detach this. What are these? Detach that. Yes, that's good. And then as we go further up, we need to detach that, send that off, and send those little rockets off. Good. And then that kicks in. Then the fairing comes off, then the detachment comes off, and then that comes off. Right, okay, so we save that. I think the staging is correct. Yeah, sometimes Twitch isn't the place for it because people could just come to watch games, but I do like those kind of discussions. We have a lot of them at my club in SL, and I often have to sit there and go, hang on a minute, we're here to party and have a laugh, not discuss evolution or science or whatever it is. It's like, but I do like having these kind of discussions because I can't get them anywhere else. I can't go to my mum and dad and talk stuff like that because they just don't get it. And I mean, I love them to bits, don't get me wrong, but they just don't get it half the time. Right, okay, let's save it. Let's give this a go, see where it ends up. We can always tweak it. Let's go. Let's go. You know what? Before we do that, I need a cup of coffee. So I'm just going to give you a nice view of the ship. Like that. As the sun rises. And I'm going to make sure this is the right... Yeah, I will be right back. Okay, I am back once again with the ready-made plaster. We are sitting on the launch pad here. Um, but what I want to do before I do that is I want to set a timer. I've never done this before. Um, I want to edit. Oh, I haven't got create an alarm. Manual time alarm. Planetary transfer window. Um, starting body Kerbin to Duna. So out to the people. Back once again with the ready-made plaster. Okay, so we want to make no changes to the warp level in game. Halt the current time warp and return to 1 speed, yes. Or pause the game, yes. Don't display an on-screen messages. Display an on-screen message options. Play sound when alarm occurs. Okay. Okay, so when is the next transfer window? Next time of you want time until 1 year, 90 days. So our transfer window is a little bit mistimed. Okay, so I'm going to add that alarm. Okay. So we now have an alarm for the transfer window. Let's get rid of that. We now have an alarm for the transfer window. Yeah, we got time to chat. Luckily, it doesn't go into real time, isn't it? Otherwise, I'd be on Twitch for a year. You'd see me. Hang on, let me put that back. You'd see me like all haggled and grey. Be like, "Welcome back, everybody. We've just managed to get our transfer window." Anyway, so what we're going to do here is see if I can remember how to do all this now. See, I make it easy for myself because I use MechJeb. I don't need to do all the calculations. I'm not a bloody rocket scientist. I just like to play the game. I like to understand, you know, some of it. I don't need to be a complete. Where is my ascent guidance? There we go. That's what I need. Okay. So and my maneuver planner. That's good. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to head up, take a 90-degree turn, do a gravity turn, and let's see what happens. So, T minus, I guess now. It's going up a bit slow, isn't it? It's all right, we got a year to perfect it. Yeah, we are not going fast enough. Not by any stretch of the imagination. We need to lose those rockets. Maybe we got way too much fuel on board, honestly. We need to lose these rockets. This fuel needs to disappear when we get to about here somewhere. And I don't think that's going to be the case. Oh, just about. Right, so now we can do our gravity turn. Yeah, we have got way too much fuel on this rocket for what we're trying to lift. Right, what is our altitude? We need to get to. What is our apoapsis? Oh, I don't know what my apoapsis is. Hang on a minute. Oh crap. I need to find my rendezvous flight recorder. I don't even know what my apoapsis is. Where is? No, it's not the Delta V status. Orbit info. That's what I wanted. Orbit info. We need to get to about. Yeah, see, we're nowhere near there yet. So we just keep going, doing flight. Our apoapsis is nowhere near where it should be. Be about 100 kilometers. 200 kilometers. That's where I want it to be. I need to pull this back up again. Now it's climbing. It needs to be at 200 kilometers. At least we're not getting too close to it. Still sitting at 7 seconds away, so we're good. Yeah, this isn't climbing nearly as fast as it should do. Right, okay, we're gonna have to revert flight back to vehicle assembly because we're not going nearly as fast as we need to. I think we need the Saturn V rockets. What I think we need. So what we need to do here, need a big old chunkers. More power. Right, okay, so heavy rocketry. That's what we need. These mammoths. And then we need to stage it properly. So we need another. How much do we need? Another 150 science. So okay, let's go back to the tracking station. Let's just do another spin on the triggers broom. This is what I put these stations up here for, is to just gather science like whenever I need it. I'm like, oh, I haven't got enough rockets, so I'll bang out some science. No, that's what I need it for. Right, so what we're going to do here is we're just going to open up. I'm going to keep all this MechJeb stuff on the screen because it's not going to make a difference at the moment. Okay, we're going to spin this on until we get another 500 science. We're running out of data, so we're going to have to go down to the surface of the moon again at some point. Well, he's still got 300, 600 in there, so... Right. Okay, so we're going to transfer... transmit science. Okay. There we go, that's that done. So we've got that science. So we're going to pick up the tracking station. and we'll go and pick up the one around the Mun as well. So what I've done here in order to be able to transmit science really efficiently, I'll show you when we get to the tracking station. So what we've got here is we've got these lines are the green communication lines. If I go to the very stable genius here, you'll see that there's a whole bunch of green lines, and these are in. Let me just show you. Oop, there we go. So I've got communication satellites around the moons and the main planet, all in synchronous orbit as much as best they can be, but they're all in a triangular array so that they are always in communication. So it doesn't matter which side of the moon. If it's around the dark side, it can still communicate. It's a whole communications network that we've got put, and that took me ages to put all that lot together and put that lot out there. It was super fun. But it means that now wherever I am on those planets or on those moons, sorry, it can communicate straight back. There is no dead zone. There is, however, going to be dead zones when we get out into outer space because I've got no communication satellites out there. Okay, so we're going to transfer this data as well. Should have yet. So transmit science. We don't have as much science on this one because the astronauts aren't. Yeah, we do have 3-star science, 5-star scientists. Wonder why it doesn't match then. It is effective, yeah. And like I say, these space stations are really there to go down and collect science and come back again and transmit it. But we will run out of areas to explore on those moons at some point. But the idea was that by that point, I've got all the bits and pieces I need, so I don't really need any more science. So therefore, it's just exploring. And we're nearly there. We're pretty much nearly there. If you look at our science unlocks. Right, so we go to research and development. So see, as you can see, we are nearly there as far as science goes. So I'm going to need that. And high performance fuels. I want that. Now these are all for space planes and landing, so I don't need those yet. So we're going to keep those. Go back to the vehicle assembly. We now should have high performance fuels and tougher and stronger engines. So we should be able to make an Apollo type craft without the boosters and stuff. So we're going to load up. What did we call it? We called it Grand Tour. There we go. Load. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to get rid of this mainsail. And we are going to have the Mammoth on there. Bada bing, bada boom. So instead of 1,300 kilonewtons, we have now got 3,700 kilonewtons of thrust. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Yeah, baby. So essentially what I could do is get rid of all of that lot. We don't need any of that lot. It's just going to be a single rocket now. But half of the fuel is going to disappear. And we're going to have to... Let's have a look at these fuel tanks. So let's get rid of all of those. So that's what these were, isn't it? Now they had 3-2. So now we've got much more fuel in... Oh. Ooh. 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 We haven't got any bigger engines than that, have we? Okay, so that's... Okay, so we don't want... Oh, see, we don't want... Oh, here we go, look. What the... Freaking hell! Look at the size of them. The we wow. I'm sorry, but that's just incredible. Engine fuel cluster fourth. Oh, you can put 4 engines on it. Oh, oh. So we could put 4 vectors on the bottom of it instead of this mammoth. Oh, now we're talking. Right, so let's see if do we have that? Don't have a bigger one than that, do we? No, we don't have any. Really, we don't have any bigger ones than that. Bigger adapters. Because that's not going to fit on there. We need a bigger adapter. Why don't we have bigger adapters? Right, well, we're not going to be able to use them, and we're not going to be able to use our new fuel tanks because they're too big. You don't have an adapter for them. That can't be right. There must be an adapter that goes from that to that. Okay, well, there's not. So we just stick with what we had then. So let's have a look at the engines now. So we were sitting with a mains. We could whack a mainsail on there, couldn't we? Once it gets up that high, we're going to. Yeah, that's good. God. What the hell was that? The hell was that? So we got an engine that takes up. No. 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 Wonder if I could put 4 of these on it. This would be interesting. That would be 1,000. I bet I couldn't. Oh, I can. Okay, power. Right, why can't I? Why can't I do this? Why can't I do a thing on the bottom of this? Right. No. Okay. Not gonna let me do that. Can I, like, no. Ah. I wonder if this will work. This probably won't work at all. I know that looks a bit cattywampus right now, but if it works, I will. No, that's really just doesn't work. All right, let's get rid of this slot then. Did you? I wonder if I could put a coupler on that. No, that's the base engine then. Okay, so that's not going to work. So we are going to have to go with a mainsail and this stack. No, this stack separator like so, and that on there like that. But I know that just looks stupid, doesn't it? Oh no, let's get rid of that. Put in some lesser fuel tanks. Where are right? God. And then oh, again we have this problem, don't we? Oh no, I don't need that, do I? I need a smaller coupler. There we go. Fuel tanks. Boom. Boom. Get balls. Okay. Now I think the problem is here now with this engine's too big. This is that was a skiff, wasn't it? I think that might be too big. How much thrust has that skiff got? No, that's about right. All right, okay. It doesn't look stable, does it? That really just doesn't look stable. All right, let's give this a go. All right, doing. No, that needs to. We need that in there. Then we need to jettison that. Oh, I need these rockets. So where are they? They're there. They go in. Yeah. Then we have that. That fires off. Then that fires off. We also need rockets in here. They fire off. Then that fires off. That fires off. Attach. So main engine burn. Release. Wait a minute. That's not right. Those aren't the right rockets. Those go up in here. And these go down in here. No, that's wrong. Right. Those go in there. Those go in there. Go in there. Right, okay. Okay, good. That's good. What's that one? They're all there. Main engine, release. First stage rockets and releases, get rid of that. That goes off. Then they release. Last stage, right, okay, we'll save that. And we will head back to launch pad. Let's see how much how much power we've got now. And watch it go. Watch it do some skywriting. Only taken a ton and a half up there, so only taken a ton and a half. So we turn on the SAS, and we will and go. Good luck and Godspeed. Yeah, that's right. Well, it's certainly getting up there a bit faster than it was, and it's nice and smooth. Listen to that engine. That engine barely roars. I love the plume on it, though. Look at that. Oh, look, that's just beautiful. Oh, yeah, here we go. We're starting to break the sound barrier here, almost. Oh, look at that apoapsis just flying up. Oh, here we go. Starting to cause drag. Maybe that was too much power. Look at that red flame, but that's fine. So let's get rid of that stage. Oh, what the frick? Oh, I know what happened. Revert flight back to vehicle launch. Yeah, I know what happened. The trouble was I didn't shut down the engines before I separated, so the engines were still pushing the rocket up, even though it was separated, so it started to spin. Sort of, they were two separate things, and one they just kind of bent. Right, so we try that again. I mean, again, I haven't played this for such a long time. Let's go and go. I'm going to start a gravity turn about here somewhere. As soon as we start hitting out of the blue and into the dark blue. Because that apoapsis got real high real fast. So we're going to start a gravity turn about now. Oh, 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 oh. Careful. I want to stick that about 30 degrees. Go. Okay, so that's that. See you later. Now we're in space. So now what we want to do is we want to set this, we want to circularize, boom, at next apoapsis, boom, at next apoapsis, and then create node. Right, and execute next node. Sorry, I should have just turned it on from there. This is going to circularize us. SpaceX ain't getting their rocket back. Yeah, no, that's just going to crash somewhere. That's that done. And not only that, what's worse is this bit is just going to float around in space. Maybe I should have put a control unit on that. This bit here is just going to float around as debris. I kind of just delete that later, but you know, it's just going to be floating around. Right. Should be auto warp. Yes, we should. Okay, I'll tell you, I think someone actually. Wrong program. Wrong game. Oh, I have got 3/4 of an hour to actually do something with my life. Okay, we're circularized. We are circularized. Okay, so we need ascent guidance gone. Orbit info gone. Let's get rid of that. Okay, so next up we want to get rid of this. So let's deploy the fairing. There's our little satellite. So now we just go 1, and out come all the bits and pieces. Okay, so we need to. We still got a fair bit of fuel left in this. We could probably use this to help us get to Duna a little bit. That would certainly help. So now what we got to look at is how long we got till our. Oh, Why did my alarm just disappear? Create alarm. To planetary transfer window from Kerbin to Duna. We want to pause the game, make a ding ding, add alarm. So how long have we got? 1 year. So what we're going to do is I'm going to spin this on. Everyone could go home, not worry about it for a year. We're going to slow this down in a minute and send some science back. I feel like I'm in that. What's that movie where they sort of go through a black hole? I feel like I'm in that. We just sit here and let it warp. Let's do the time warp again. Copyright claim. Right. So I'm going to slow down the warp here, and we're going to do some science, actually. We are going to check to see if some of this works. What we're going to do is hit this and go run report. That's 67.5 science. Okay, so we're going to transmit that data. Boom, that was fast. We're also going to got some data on here. Log gravity. And we're going to transmit that science. That's 30. Boom, that's that done. And then we're going to extend this again. I like the boom being extended. So those are the two science experiments that we got on there. I mean, I know it's not much science, not this close. So we're going to warp to next. Oh, hang on. I'm going to turn that off, actually. I want to save it because we're actually up here. So, save game. Save 43. Yeah, now we'll warp to next. This is exciting. I've never done an interplanetary transfer before. So it'd be interesting to see how that works. Oh, here we go. Right, so I'm going to pause this. Right, I want to go to map first, don't I? Map. I want to set target to Duna. Duna, set as target. We want to do it, transfer to another planet. And in 4 minutes, according to that, you will have the ability to be able to transfer it. 3, 2, 1. Oh, time to wake up. Okay. Delete and close. Okay, so let's create a node. Whoa! Okay. 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 Sends us all the way over there. Okay, let's execute that node. Oh, hold on. That's not quite right. That is not quite right. Oh, yes, it is. So we could be on the path. We'll get to about here, and then we'll make it. We'll make an adjustment. So we'll be fine. Why is it in 33 days? Oh, I see. It gives you plenty of time to get up there. These alarms. The transfer window is a wide window, so it gives you time to, like, if you're doing something else and the transfer window goes off, you can go back to Kerbal and launch the rocket. So we could have just time warped on the ground and then launched the rocket during the transfer window. Well, that's really interesting. That's useful to know. Well, it's going to be useful to know if I do interplanetary transfers again. Oh, I got 30. Oh my god. It's just. Can we spin that on even faster? Six days. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. T minus 3 hours. Here we go. We've only got a little bit of fuel, as we can. Oh, I was pointing to the screen. That's no good. And you got a little bit of fuel, so we'll end it here, and then we need to detach. Use the last bit. Right, so now I'm going to look at main page. Go look at the information from Duna. Now, where is synchronous orbit? Is about 2,800 kilometers above the surface. Duna. Are we now be okay? So what we want to do is we want to try and get an orbit. There's where we get captured by him. Want to slow down about there somewhere. 2,800. So near space, outer space. Oh, that's a scientific multiplier. So I'm just looking at this. This is giving me the information on Duna. So I am trying to find what sort of orbit height we want to have. So got an atmosphere. We don't want to touch that. 50,000 altitude, pressure, 1,000 is so 5 kilometers. Got no atmosphere. Synchronous orbit is 2,000. So 5 kilometers. I'm just wondering. Uh, Duna's atmospheric. What is it? So I'm thinking about 100 kilometers. We could do 100 kilometers between 200. Between because we want to stay within. We don't want to synchronous. So between 100 and 200 kilometers is what we want to do. Between 100 and 200 kilometers. So let's spin on to about here somewhere. And we can set the orbit. Okay. Oh, this is so cool. We're going to Duna. We're going to Duna. We're going to Duna. We're going to Duna. But when I first started playing this game, I would always call it Duana. I was going, I get to Duana. Wait, no, it's Duna. There's not an A in the middle. So, I think like now, see, we're still in radio contact with the planet there. So what I want to do is into this. So we have to, yeah, don't focus view. There we go. What I want to do is create an orbit. No, create a menu. And we want to try and get that periapsis around. Ooh, why is that not working? Okay. So what's happening here? Right, we're too far away, so let's remove that node and carry on speeding up a bit. Okay. get captured about here somewhere. Can we do that now? Ah, yes, that's working. Good, good, good. That was close stuff. So we want to bring that periapsis up like so, and we want to try and get it to about. See, it's 23 kilometers away. That's no good for us. Bring it in to about 100. What did I say? That's a 10,000 kilometers. Oh no. Wait, what? That can't be right. Whoa. Yes, maybe. Oh, there's a moon there as well. We can spin around. Oh, oh, whoa, oh, oh. So, what did we say? 2,000 kilometers. On about 100 kilometers. Well, that's 9,000. So that's 900 kilometers. $600 kilometers. 500 kilometers. Now we get hit by that then, don't we? Right, so if we sit there at 700, we won't hit that moon. We need to bring it down just a smidge to level it out. Whoop! God, it's so hard at this far away. Okay, so there we go. So let's execute that node. That should bring us in here. Oh, I'm so excited. We get to see like Duna up close. Not like super up close, but we get to see it up close. So we need to make sure that we are 50, more than 50, so between 100 and 200 kilometers. Okay. So now where are we? So right, what we want to do is we want to be on this trajectory here. So zoom out. Spin on. Here we go. Here we go. We're getting captured. Getting captured. And boom. We are captured. Right, so now what we want to do is we want to adjust this just slightly to bring us in once we get past once we get past Ike. We want to just bring this down to 200 kilometers. Go. Twiddly twiddly. 201 kilometers. There's that one. And then here we want to. Right, so we want to do that. So I'm going to save that. Save game. Save. And execute the next node. Boy, we just missed Ike. Look. Whee! We've got so much fuel left on this thing. There she is, look. Wow. Oh, that's so cool. Awesome. Now, what I want to do is I want to get rid of that fuel tank. So what we want to do is I want to get to about here and ditch the fuel tank. I know I've got so much fuel in it and it was just bad design. That's what it was. Because I want this probe to... Well, actually, no, I could keep hold of that fuel, couldn't I? It's not going to make any difference. And then I could use the little fuel that I've got on the probe to do other maneuvers further out in space. So we're going to fly real close here, 200 kilometers. So we should... Now this is just going to be a flyby. This is not going to be an orbit or a flyby. I'm just going to do a flyby, and then we're going to hit Ike. So, whoa, 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 whoa! Oh man, I fucked it up. Pressed the wrong button. Oh right, okay. Load save. Wank. Wank. I pressed M instead of arrow. Okay, so where are we? Oh, that's all right. We're not that far. We're not that far. All right, we just want to execute the next node then, don't we? We want to just do that again. Something about a heavenly body. Have you seen the pictures of her? Oh yeah, baby. Well, when I say pictures, I mean SL pictures. That's all anyone really shares. They're on that blog that I shared. Okay, so now we are here. Speaking of which, we're going to be doing party night in about 45 minutes. No, 35 minutes. So I need to at least... Let's get real close. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. And there she is. Look at that. That looks awesome. Now I'm going to get carried away here, but I need to run a magnetic scan. And That's 225 science. So we're going to transmit that. Twitch doesn't allow you to stream Second Life. Log gravity data. So no, I have no intention to stream it. That's 100 science for that data. Because there's a lot of adult content in there, and you can't necessarily control it neither. The other thing is, I mean, and that's with good reason as well, because like, take for example, if you're in a completely PG area where like no nudity is allowed, right? For example, so even if you were to be in this area, if you res in, like just land, everything has to res. You know, all the textures, all the mesh, and everything has to land. Now, what often happens is, oh, that is beautiful. Look at that. What often happens is, yeah, I know it's. It's crazy. But what often happens when you immediately res into an area, as things are sort of resing in, some things will res in before others. So for like 30 seconds or so, someone can appear completely naked. They're not, because eventually their clothes will appear. But no matter where you are, they will appear naked for like 30 seconds. So even if you're in a PG area, you can't guarantee that you're not going to be streaming full frontal pixel avatar nudity. I mean, they're only pixel avatars. Don't get me wrong; they're not real humans, but you know, some people could be, you know, oh, that's not low. Look at that. That is worth a picture. We are there, ladies and gentlemen. First trip to Duna. Yeah, I like that women in hot tubs beg for tips. You know what I call those? Twitch whores. I mean, just get on a fucking cam site. Come on, you'll earn more for it. And you could, you know, you don't have to be on Twitch. Pixel genitalia is very offensive. Yeah, I know, I know. Okay, so we're going to head off to Ike next. So we're going to have to save this. We're going to save this. Save game here. We're going to save that. So now we need to look at now we need to look at the information for Ike. Because let's have a look. Where is the information for Ike? Say, just put in, just type in Ike. Ike. So we don't want to be in geosynchronous. We don't want to be in synchronous orbit. Synchronous orbit is 1,000 kilometers. Sphere of influence is, well, we can't get into synchronous orbit because the sphere of influence is too low. Oh, you can't see that. There's the sphere. There's the synchronous orbit, but there's. So I think we should do another 200-kilometer flyby. Another 200 kilometers. We're at 60 kilometers. Well, 60 kilometers is fine, I think. That. Look at that. That is craziness. Now that is going to take us off there. So what I also want to do is set another alarm. Hang on a minute. Where are we going next? That's the question. Going next, we're going from Ike to Res. So I want to try and create an alarm from Ike. Oh, wait, there is no Ike. Oh, right, so we'll have to go back to Duna. So from Duna, okay, from Duna to Dres. That is in, let's pause, send a message and that. Time until 390 days. So we're going to add an alarm there. So what we're going to do is we're going to head to Ike and then come back to Circle Duna. Then we can do an interplanetary transfer from Duna. So what we need to do here is we need to adjust slightly add a maneuver. We need to bring this up. Okay. This is going to be complicated. Oh, did it? Oh, well, you're back now. That's all right. Right, so this is it's going to send us right down. So we need to kind of hit that plane. So let's set Ike as target. And I'm going to change that node. I'm going to delete that node. No, come on, delete node. Move a planet, remove all nodes. That needs to be there. We need to kind of come in. Now I need to go up. Come on, Ike. Right. Here we go. This is much better. Gonna need. No. That to be on that line, but a bit further out, I think. I want to do 100 kilometers. I don't want to be. There we go, 100 kilometers. And it needs to come down. So down there like that. So it's 111 kilometers outside Ike. And then what we'll do is we'll circularize it. Execute next node. So there. Oh, look at that. That's a wondrous picture. Look at that. That's where we're going, ladies and gentle peeps. That's where we are, and that's where we're going. So F12. Oh, brilliant. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to circularize maneuver planet. I want to circularize at next periapsis. Create the node. And then can we also, while we're here, change the... No. Wait, we could go around. Yes. There we go. Perfect. So we're going to execute that node. Right, we've lost communications. Ah, we've got communications back. Brilliant. So we're now circling Ike. We've got 390 days until we can get from Duna to Dres. So that's great. So we want to do another maneuver planner. Welcome back. We want to transfer to another planet. We want it. Right. We want to. Right. We want to set Duna as a focus. Create node. Ah, right. Okay. So we want to. Oh, right. Okay. Transfer to another planet. Right. Return from a moon. Can we do that? Yes. Great. And that sets of periapsis way too small. So we're going to just adjust that slightly. Periapsis needs to be about 200 again. 250. 243. 232. 220. 205. So that's good. Right, so let's speed up until we're on the light side of the moon. So light side of Ike, so we could get a good look at Ike. Which is going to be fine because no, I want to focus on Ike. Why can't I focus on Ike? Here we go. So we are coming around the light side of Ike. It's just a ball of grey rock. Nothing I haven't seen before. But we're going to run this magnometer and we're going to transfer the data. Should have put a data storage thing on there actually. That would have been able to store the data that we couldn't transmit. Log gravity data. We're going to send that back to. Great. We're going to log it again and we're going to store it back again. Right, so we haven't got any more. Yeah, we can still keep doing that. We'll run out of battery power, so. Oh no, electric charge is fine. Okay, how much we got left? For another 46 science, so we're going to that. Oh, wait, so we can still do that? Uploaded data search for 60 data received. All right, so let's do this. Run this one again. This will give us 36 science. That's done. This will give us 36 science. So we're still getting. So it's continuous. Good. Okay, so we've done that plenty of times. So I'm going to save that. Right, so now we want to execute the next node, and we're going to maneuver planner, execute next node. And we're going to park this thing around Duna, ready for next time, where we're going to be moving on to other planets. I have to get myself ready for party night, and drinking and dancing and mooching. Yeah, it's just a great time where you can just sort of hang out. It's a time where um everybody knows that there's a specific time and a place where everyone can get together and just chat and have a good time and talk about what you've been doing this week and what you know and all that kind of stuff. Because what usually happens is you end up, I've found that you don't stay necessarily in constant contact with all your internet friends. So, like for example, yeah, thanks, man. I'm not going to be going just yet. I've got a few minutes yet. Um, it's like for example, Joanna and my friend Creamy, they don't speak every day. I mean, I speak to both of them every day, but they don't speak every day. So it gives people a chance to sort of know when they can all get together and they can all just sort of say, oh, hey, yeah, how's your week been? And all this kind of stuff. So it's a way to get a group of people together socially. Yeah, it's Second Life for the right reasons. Yeah, exactly. You meet friends and people bring other people over um, that they've met during their travels through Second Life, you know. Um, and next no, nodes. Yeah, so they'll bring their friends around. They'll say, "Oh, hey, this is someone I met while I was doing such and such or so and so," and then you get to meet new people and you know some of them are nice, some of them are not so nice, you know. But that's just the way that goes. To me, it's just like it's being able to go down the pub with the friends that you haven't seen during the week because you've been working without actually leaving your house. You know, same thing. They'll bring in friends. Oh, this is my mate from work, Dave. Oh, hey, Dave, meet everybody, and then you get to talk to Dave and make a new friend. And it's the same thing without actually having to leave your house for people who can't necessarily, like myself, leave my house. Um, that's why we do it. We add a bit of like adult entertainment in there just for funsies and all that kind of stuff because Second Life is a very visual um, medium. So we like to, you know, we have things there that enhances the experience and makes it more fun. Otherwise, you just get on Discord together. I mean, that's fun. Don't get me wrong, but it's not as fun. You know, we have DJs, we have we have competitions and contests and stuff like that, and live performers. That's another big thing we have. We have actual people in the game who come over and sing live for us on stream, and that's always a good time. Yeah, it's pub on the sofa. You say, "Oh, I'm going down the pub," and you don't have to spend hours getting ready and doing yourself up. You just sort of pop in a Second Life and you say, "Oh, I'm going to wear a different outfit," and they make outfit changes really easy. Just change outfit, boom. So I'm going to wear that today. Or you've gone shopping and bought a new outfit and you know put that on and whatever, and it's craziness. You have all sorts of weird, fun-looking avatars turn up. Like Amu is a blue wolf, blue dragon wolf. It's really cool. So there's plenty of different. I like the variety and the creativity of people. Oh look, that's another brilliant picture. There's heat haze on it. You see the heat haze in the atmosphere. Oh, that's so cool. Right, just going to circularize this, and then we're going to call it a day. And next time we'll come back and we'll go to the next one. Well, I've also got mods on it as well to make it look prettier. The base game doesn't look as good. I've got a certain number of mods in order to make it look better. I think I've listed those on my Twitch channel under about. I think there's a list there for mods. There's a list of mods that I use. Big one is MechGeb, because I'm not a rocket scientist and I don't intend to be, but you know, I do like to play the game and understand the basics of rocketry. So MechGeb does most of the heavy lifting for me, but the rest is just visual modifications. Right, so let's just spin onto the light side so we can say goodbye to Duna. Here we go. And look at that. Another Duna Ike picture. That's just perfect. That's another picture taken. Oh, and save game. Save game, of course. Well, that was absolutely fantastic. I am so pleased with actually being able to do that. That's the first planet and the first planet's moon. We have got plenty more to do. I have never, when I've been playing this game, actually managed to, or actually even got to a point where I could do an interplanetary transfer. So I am super over the moon with this. I've built space stations and mining depots and shuttle to bring back fuel and all this kind of stuff. I've done all that, but I've never gone to another planet like this, and I'm pretty pleased with myself. So we're going to call it a day here, and I'm just going to sit here and just admire that scene at the moment. Thanks very much for everyone for joining me. I'm going to head off. I'm going to go and grab some wine and have a bit of a party. And I'm glad you joined me, Super Rivs, because I wasn't sure if this would be something you'd be interested in. But seeing as you like Astroneer, I'm assuming you like space stuff. But I decided to do this mainly because I wanted to get some probes up. Yes, we'll speak on Monday. Yes. Okay, well, you have a good weekend. If I don't see you in one of my streams over the weekend while you're at work. And for everybody else, thanks so much for joining me, and goodbye.